Good evening, Internet. It is I, the Real Shroom. Tonight I'm heading into the Pioneer format on Magic the Gathering Online after a several weeks foray into Standard Arena. And this is my first time playing Pioneer since the bans, which I thought were, the three most popular decks pre-ban were Izzet Phoenix, which was the most popular deck, the Amalia combo, and Rakdos Vampires. So they outright banned the Amalia combo. Amalia's gone. You can't play that deck anymore. Rakdos Vampires, they banned Sorin. That was a good ban. That deck is still really good, but it doesn't have the just automatic I win the game on turn 3 potential. However, they didn't do anything to Phoenix, which is puzzling to me, because if you ban two of the top 3 decks in the format, but not the third, what do you think is going to happen? Well, people are just going to play the third one, right? So that's what I'm anticipating. And looking at data from Pioneer events since the bans, there is a lot of Phoenix. There also is a lot of Rakdos Aggro. There's a lot of blue-white control and a decent amount of mono-green devotion. So I want to play something that is well positioned to interact with those decks well, meaning that we want to interact, and we also want to be able to exile our opponent's permanents and cards. So what a better color combination than Orzhov to do just that. So tonight we're playing some Exiling Orzhov Superfriends control. What do I mean by that? Let's take a look. So we want to exile our opponent's stuff as we remove. That is kind of goal number 1 of this deck. And a card that I think is really good for doing that, of course, is Vanishing Verse. 2-mana instant speed, exile target monocolored permanent. Doesn't matter what it is. Enchantment, planeswalker, creature, artifact. Usually not artifacts, but once in a while it will be artifacts. This exiles at instant speed for 2 mana, which is amazing. We also are running a couple of Not on My Watch as a 2-mana instant card that can exile attacking creatures. This is very good against Izzet Phoenix. Obviously, you exile their Phoenixes as they're attacking for 2 mana instant speed, which is actually quite good. It's also very good against, these effects are very good against mono green, where you really also want to exile their creatures. You want to exile those old growth trolls so that they can't get them back. You want to exile those Cavalier of Thorns so that they don't get the death triggers of recycling cards from their graveyard. So these 4 cards are going to do that for stuff that is on the battlefield. We are also attacking aggressively our opponent's hand with exile-based discard, including a 3 of Agonizing Remorse, which is 2 mana. Look at their hand, exile a non-land card from it. It's a Thoughtseize that exiles. It does cost 1 life. It also has the ability to exile a card from a graveyard. So if there happens to be a like a Memory Deluge or a Arclight Phoenix that is already in our opponent's graveyard, we can exile it from there with the Agonizing Remorse as well. We also have a 3 of Soul Search, which is just another exiling Thoughtseize effect that sometimes can create a 1/1 spirit creature token for us. But basically, it's 2 mana exile card from our opponent's hand, which we want. Incidentally, we're also playing a couple of Thoughtseize, so we have we have 8 total main board. Look at your hand, Thoughtseize type effects, which I really like because there's a lot of control decks too. There's the Niv Mizzet decks. There's just tons of blue-white control. You just want to be able to look at their cards and Thoughtseize them, and that's what we're going to do. We also have just some regular old interaction. We got the Thoughtseizes. We got 3 Fatal Push because the Rakdos Aggro deck is incredibly popular right now too. So you got to be ready to kill those creatures, those cheap red 1-drops. And what better card to do it with than Fatal Push? We also have a Long Goodbye that can, as a 2-mana instant speed removal piece that can hit Kiora's as well and Liliana of the Veil. So I'm calling this Fatal Push number 4. Remember, we also have the 2 Not on My Watch. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, counting the Vanishing Verse, 1 and 2 mana instant speed removal effects. So I think that should be sufficient to handle the Rakdos Aggro decks. We hope so anyway. A 1 of Sheoldred's Edict can also hit Planeswalkers. And then we've got a 1 of Settle the Wreckage as another instant speed removal effect that can exile people's creatures as they attack. And we've got a 1 of Oath of Kaya that does 3 damage, drains for 3. It does Lightning Helix when it enters the battlefield, and makes it so that whenever our opponents attack our Planeswalkers, we drain them for 2. So that is going to be our win condition, is Planeswalkers, because they are a creature type that is hard to interact with, and the removal for them, it's there. There's the Get Loss, but it's not as widely played as the Fatal Pushes, Go for the Throats, the creature removal interaction. So our Planeswalkers include 1 Kaya of Orzhov Usurper. Kaya can exile 1 mana value creatures and permanents, so it's good against Rakdos Sacrifice. It's good against Rakdos Aggro. as well, because it exiles 1-drops. It also can +1 to remove cards from our opponent's graveyard and gain us some life if we exile creature cards. For instance, like Exiling Phoenixes that happen to be in their graveyard before they can, get them out with a storm off turn. Just a little bit of graveyard interaction I think is good, because there are decks that use the graveyard. Not just Izzet Phoenix, that's the primary one, of course, but there are others as well. We have one of Gideon of the Trials as a 3-mana walker. It's a good defensive piece that can shut down the damage of early attackers. Since we're playing other Gideons in the deck as well, its emblem can actually make it so that our opponent can't win the game until they kill Gideon. So it means that they have to send their creatures to attack down Gideon, which is cool. At the 4-mana slot, we have one of Elspeth Sun's Nemesis. I like this Planeswalker. It can gain us life, which can help us in the aggro matchups. It also can -2 to create 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. It can -1 to pump our tokens by +2/+1 until the end of the turn, and we can play it from our graveyard for 6 mana by exiling cards from our graveyard. We don't really have any other use for our graveyard, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue to escape it for 4 cards in our graveyard, and just continue making those tokens, gaining this life, keeping us in the game. We've got the 2 of Gideon ally Zendikar, who pumps out 2/2 ally creature tokens, can also become a 5/5 beater himself. Gideon of the Trials can be a 4/4 beater that's hard to remove, and he can, after a +1, make an emblem that gives all of our creatures +1/+1, which is cool since we are going to have a lot of token creatures on the battlefield. That's our primary win con, so he boosts them all up with a -4, which he will survive if we pump him up once to attack as a 5/5 prior to using the -4. And of course, we've got the 2 of Wandering Emperor, which is also like a flash-based exile piece. This extremely powerful Planeswalker. It can flash in for 4 mana, -2 to exile a creature and gain us a couple of life, and it can produce 2/2 Samurai tokens with Vigilance, as well as put counters on our creature tokens and make them more viable in combat, giving them first strike. And then we got a Sorin the Mirthless, who can kind of pseudo-draw us cards for his +1, and also -2 to create 2/3 life-linking flying vampire creature tokens, which is sweet. And a Sorin Solemn Visitor can +2 give all of our creature tokens +1/+0 and lifelink, gain us big chunks of life, and can -2 create 2/2 evasive creature tokens as well. And then at 5 mana, we've got a Loth Spider Queen. This was a terror in Standard when D&D Standard was a thing. It can just 0 to draw us cards and lose us a life, which is good. It can also -3 to create 2/1 black spider creature tokens with Menace and Reach. So they're good blockers and they're evasive attackers. And whenever a creature we control dies, she gets loyalty. So she can hopefully perpetually pump out streams of black spider creature tokens that are really good blockers and really good attackers. And then we do have a couple of 6-mana Planeswalkers. One Liliana Dreadhorde General can pump out 2/2 zombie creature tokens, lets us draw cards whenever our creatures die, which is awesome. Our creatures will die because they're all tokens. And she can -4 to make everybody sacrifice 2 creatures, which maybe can draw us cards, but hopefully can clear out our opponent's side of the battlefield so that our creatures can get through for their attacks. And one of Eternal Wanderer is a Planeswalker that really protects itself well. It can +1 to remove a blocker temporarily to allow our tokens to attack. For 0, it creates 2/2 double striking tokens, which is really great. And for a -4, it does a pseudo board wipe, where it destroys everything but 1 creature on each side. So this is just a fantastic Planeswalker that can create really powerful tokens if we can stick it on turn 6 and protect it after removing all of our opponent's removal and whatnot. And then we're a 26 land deck, control deck, so of course we need some form of card selection or card advantage. So we're running 3 of Reckoner Bankbuster. This card's just really good. So good it was banned in Standard. I don't know why Wizards decided to make it so good, but they did. It's 2 mana, for 2 you tap it to draw a card, and then it later becomes a vehicle that crews itself, is a 4/4 that can do that early. And, it's just also makes a treasure for some reason. So, yeah, Bankbusters is really, really good. And we're playing it because it can help us to find the pieces we need when we need it. Total of 26 lands in the deck if you also count this Emeria's Call that's hiding behind our preview pane here. The tech includes a couple of Demolition Fields, a Fountain Ports, and 1 Scavenger Grounds is a piece of just exile your graveyard that we can have in our mana base just as a hard graveyard removal effect. We also have a Castle Ardenvale, a Castle Locthwain. For creature lands, we have a Hive of the Eye Tyrant, we have a Shambling Vent, and we have a Restless Fortress. Also a Takanuma and Niganjo for tech. Our sideboard includes Vanishing Verse number 3 for matchups where it's good. This includes Mono Green Devotion. It includes Phoenix, obviously. And Erebos' Intervention is additional graveyard hate that can also be creature removal that gains us life. So good against aggro, good against graveyard decks. One of Necromentia is good against combo decks. It's also good against blue-white control. I was really like on the fence about whether to include this or Thought Distortion, as a slot to bring in against blue-white control. But I think Necromentia is probably a better way to go. You can name like Teferi Time Raveler. You can name the Wandering Emperor. You can name Shark Typhoon. And it's also good against other decks that tend to be kind of combo-y, like, Bring to Light decks, that kind of thing. A couple of Surge of Salvation are good against the black decks that want to interact with us a lot and Thoughtseize us all the time. We don't want them doing that, so we'll protect ourselves. One Containment Priest is good against like Collected Company type decks. Decks that want to cheat in creatures. We have 3 High Noon in our sideboard, which this card is just really good in Pioneer right now. It is obviously very good against the Phoenix decks, making it so that they can't cheat out their Phoenixes from the battlefield, from the graveyard. It's also very good against Mono Green, which really wants to go off on turns where it makes 1,000,000 mana with Nykthos and wants to like storm the festival multiple times. You can just stop all that with High Noon, and very good against the Lotus Field combo, which is very popular nowadays. A couple of Hushbringers are there to shut down ETB type decks like Money Pile decks. I'm running this instead of Doorkeeper Thrall because I do think shutting down death effects is relevant as well, with Rakdos Sacrifice being very popular. A couple of temporary lockdown are cheap, like exile effects, like sweepers, that are useful to have against the Rakdos aggressive decks. And a couple of Heliod's Intervention are mass artifact and enchantment removal, which can be really good, as well as it gives us the ability to gain a bunch of life. We might bring in 1 against the aggressive matchups, but really they're there to hate on artifact and enchantments decks, like all of those, like, what's the name of that? Interminable Annoyance, I call it. Those like Fires of Invention style decks that want to put 1,000,000 enchantments on the battlefield. If you just destroy those all at once, get like a multiple for 1 with Heliod's Intervention. So that is the plan. We're going to interact early and often. Our interaction is going to exile our opponent's stuff instead of having it sit in the battle in the graveyard where they can gain additional value out of it. Just gone. No questions asked. Your Phoenix is gone. Your Memory Deluge is gone, whether it's in your hand or in the graveyard. And then we're going to stick our Planeswalkers, which are hard to remove, crank out those tokens, and win the game slowly but surely. That is the plan. Can we execute our plan in a very tough, interactive, fast Pioneer format? Let's find out. If you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Let's start the league. First match is going to be against Kahuna 678 with Gigantha, so we're looking at aggro. We're going to be on the draw. We have 2 removal pieces. We don't have 2 untapped mana on turn 2. Can we keep this? Opponent mulls to 6. This is so borderline. We get a Surveil to maybe find like a 1 mana, like a Fatal Push or an untapped land for turn 2. I think we'll keep this. Alright, so it's Gruul Aggro. Soul Search is our draw. Yeah, we'll keep a Demolition Field on top, because that does give us access to Not On My Watch on turn 2. Okay. So we're going to play that. And let's see what happens here. They have 3 cards in hand. They definitely could have like a Blossoming Defense or something. I don't know. I kind of find the Gruul version of this deck scarier than the Rakdos. Innkeeper's Talent. It's going to put the token on the Heartfire Hero. Alright, so we get to exile the Heartfire Hero, meaning it doesn't get its death trigger. We just take 2. That's pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and Oath of Kaya on the Swiftie. Another Heartfire hero. Leveling up. Alright, let's Soul Search. Manifold Mouse, show off Blossoming Defense. Take the mouse. We can also Thoughtseize away the Slickshot show off. So their hand is Blossoming Defense, which is fine. That doesn't help them against Settle the Wreckage. Emberheart Challenger is fine. I mean, they're getting in for a lot of damage. Alright, well, here we are. We'll just helplessly play our tap land and pass. Now, unfortunately, this Settle the Wreckage is going to make it so that they'll be able to fully level up this Innkeeper's talent. Well, they're going to do that anyway. Alright. We are going to Settle the Wreckage. They have a Slickshot show off. Okay, let's play Sorin. Make our lifelink token. Yeah, the problem is the Innkeeper's talent is going to make their dudes so big. So I will need to find some additional removal. It's a 5/5. It's a 7/7. I can't just take that. Can I? This lets me kill the Slickshot show off. And I go to 6. That means that I'm dead to the Heartfire being, like, flung at me. The problem is, like, the Slickshot show off just becomes so huge by itself. It's like the less creatures they have. I don't know. This might be wrong. It's probably really greedy, but I think just taking creatures off the battlefield is good. That gives +2 toughness too. Oops. I thought it was only +2/+0. Well, okay. So I took 1 more point of damage than I should have. It's not a big deal. Sorin. I've already used my the Wandering Emperor. I would die if I drew this. Ah, man, it would be so good. But I can't. I cannot take it. Alright, make another lifelinking token. Audacity. $11-9 trample. Okay, yep. So, aggro. Vanishing Verse. Erebos' Intervention. Temporary Lockdown. Also gets the Innkeeper's Talents. High Noon is worthy of consideration. I think I'll bring in one. It does get hit by Temporary Lockdown, though. I think I'm not going to bring in High Noon. In fact, I'm going to cut one Bank Buster. Cut 6 mana Planeswalkers. Cut a Thoughtseize. Oh, I want Surge of Salvation. Cut the Thoughtseizes. Cut one Gideon ally. Alright, we've got a temporary lockdown, we've got a Gideon, so I'll keep this. Would like to find more interaction. Iganjo. Manifold Mouse. Okay. So I could Gideon here. I think I just temporary lockdown. No messing around. Just get rid of as many creatures as possible. Whenever possible. Okay. I kind of want to soul search here. Blossoming Defense, double Audacity. Well, I'm going to take Blossoming Defense because I have this Gideon, which can shut down that Manifold Mouse. Going to take a huge hit here. Going to take like 10 damage. I can... No, it's going to have trample. Okay, they get another creature. They'll be able to give both their creatures trample. Yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. Alright, they're giving double audacity to their dude. And they're giving a double strike to you? Jeez, what an insane draw. Okay, well, I think I'm dead. I can't Iganjo, right? Nope. Does this matter if I block or not? 12, 13, 14, 15? Not really. I mean, it saves 1 point of damage, so... So I need Settle the Wreckage or another temporary lockdown. Hey! Settle the Wreckage. I want to hold on to Iganjo as a removal spell, so I'll just pass. Shadowy Backstreet. But I'm just gonna die to their Den of the Bugbear. No, I can actually... I have the mana to survive this. So we gotta kill Den of the Bugbear. Play Iganjo. Play Gideon. Plus on your dude and just pray that you don't have anything. And they do. Alright, well, aggro decks are really good in Pioneer. If you hadn't heard, the red aggro decks are really, really good. 7-17 is our opponent. No companion. This hand looks good. We'll keep. Our mana base is a little slow. But we're on the play, so that's not so bad. Necessarily. Start with a tap land. Okay, so they're like a graveyard combo-y deck. I think I'll play another tap land. Whenever one or more creatures you control dies, create a food. Whenever you sack a permanent, target player mills. And then you can sack 3 opponents to return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, they are indeed a sack deck. Soul Search isn't bad. Let's go for Soul Search. Deadly Dispute, Fatal Push, Fable. Torch the Tower. Well, Fable, duh. And then we'll play Shattered Sanctum. Alright, their draw was Blackleaf Cliffs. Level 2. Hive. Yeah, let's go for Gideon. I think we'll just start making tokens. They have a Fatal Push in hand. I mean, that's okay. They can Fatal Push it. It's gonna get used on something at some point. They didn't. Blood Crypt was their draw. Or am I totally wrong? They already played this Overgrown Tomb. Okay, level 3. Not bothering to kill my token creature. Alright, well, let's have Gideon get in for an attack. I think we'll play Castle Ardenvale and make a token. Okay, there's their Overgrown Tomb. So I think I've been tracking this correctly. Deadly disputing their witch's oven. Okay. Can't complain about that too much. There's a Cauldron Familiar. Okay, we would love to exile that. Alright, we'll activate Castle Ardenvale. Vanishing Verse. That's a good draw. It's level 3, right? Alright, let's just emblem our Gideon. Does mean they can torch the tower it. Maybe that was a mistake. I think that was a mistake. Let's exile this cat now. They fatal push their cat. Okay. And they torch one of my tokens. Okay. That means they did not torch Gideon, which is pretty good. Play our hive. They get their cat back and drain for 1. Alright. Fatal push the cat. Elspeth, Sun's Nemesis. Play our shadowy backstreet. Emiria's Call. We want Emiria's Call. Make a 3/3. Play Elspeth. Make some 2/2s. Attack. Okay. They get their food. Do I get a chance to respond to this? I'm not sure that I do. I do. Okay, they've already gotten their free one. So they don't get a food this time. And they scoop. Okay. So, Erebos' intervention. Vanishing Verse. Containment Priest. And I think we want Surge. At least. And some Heliod's intervention too, for sure. So what do we not want? Fatal Push. We can cut at least 1 of. Not 2 of. Because it doesn't kill Mayhem Devil without Revolts. Probably also want at least 1 temporary lockdown, which means I'll cut 1 Bank Buster. Cut a Thoughtseize. Cut Oath of Kaya. Cut Sheoldred's Edict. Cut one of our 6-mana walkers. Probably Liliana. Actually, I think I like Liliana better than the Eternal Wanderer. I'll cut one Ally of Zendikar. Okay, this hand looks great. Just need to draw some lands. Thoughtseize. Sees at least 3 cards they'd be interested in taking, I'm sure. They take Erebos' Intervention. Alright, play our Hive. Scavenger's Talent. Alright, let's Soul Search. Pick your poison, Fable. We'll take Fable. So their hand is pick your poison, double Overgrown Tomb. It's not very good. Another Thoughtseize. Takes Lolth. Alright, play our Miria's Call as a land. Level 3. Sure. Draw planes. Liliana Dreadhorde General. Well, we need double black for that, which we don't have yet. So we'll pass. Beat all your removal by not ever drawing creatures, they say. Okay. Let's always yield to that. Black Source? No. Okay. Sooner or later, we will draw Black Source number 2. There's the Witch's Oven. Can I draw a Black Source, please? Untapped. Gideon. Alright, let's go for Gideon. Make a 2/2. They're drawing a lot of lands. So I can see why they're a little bit annoyed. I would be too. But you know, that happens. Reckoner Bankbuster. Alright. Let's start attacking with Gids. They did a good chunk of damage with their Thoughtseizes. Alright, let's play our Bankbuster. Let's draw a card. No land, no black source. Pick your poison on my Bankbuster. Yep. Igra, Eater of All. Other creatures are food artifacts in addition to their other types. Whenever food is put into the graveyard, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. Okay. Sure. Gideon of the Trials. Alright, let's play Gideon. Plus on Igra. Or to sacrifice a food. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, that didn't work so well. I'll just make an emblem. There's really no need for me to do that, because if it attacks me, I want it to attack me, because then I can not on my watch it. Of course, they just sack the oven in response. Alright. They get back Igra. The Witch's Oven is tapped. Alright, I think we got him here. Let's Lily. Dreadhorde General. Depends on what their last card is. Okay, make you sack Igra. Fire up Gids. Fire up Gids. Okay, they scoop it up. DB Jaffer is our opponent in round 3. Be on the play. Gigantha, so it's aggro. Alright, well, we got Fatal Push. We've got Fatal Push. I mean, Thoughtseize actually isn't bad. Of course, I would much rather have more removal. I'm going to keep, because I have a Fatal Push. I also have a Gideon that might be able to do something. Oh, okay. Cauldron Familiar. Okay, let's Thoughtseize. It's another eager deck. I think we take Deadly Dispute, and then with our Soul Search, we take Mayhem Devil. Why? Why is the revealed zone so incredibly janky for Moto? They got a Witch's Oven. Alright, so let's play our Soul Search. We'll exile Mayhem Devil. So their hand is Igra, Mountain, Stomping Ground. Play Shattered Sanctum. Another Witch's Oven. Well, this is going to be hard to beat, actually. Double Witch's Oven. Alright, let's play Gideon. Make a token. Double Oven. No trample over here, so it's gonna be hard to beat through this. Actually, funnily enough, the emblem of Gideon of the Childs might be really relevant. Their hand is Igra plus 1 unknown. They pick up Gigantha. Hive. Alright, we'll play Hive. Make a 2/2. There's no point in attacking. It's Emblem Gideon. So as long as we have a Gideon, they can't win. Problem is, I don't know how I ever catch the cat in a state where I can exile it. It might be possible. With 2 Witches' Ovens, it seems pretty unlikely. I don't see it happening, though. Like, how? 2 Witches' Ovens. How are we ever going to exile the cat? There's Gigantha. Sure. Demolition Field. Well, just keep making tokens. Tick up on Gigantha. I mean, maybe I can drain him out. Seems unlikely. At least I can stay at parity. What a silly combination of cards. I mean, maybe they'll make a mistake. They pay a bunch of mana. Sack Gigantha for food. So they're gonna play Igra. Deadly Disputes. Okay. Fable's busted. Alright, let's push the Shaman. Vanishing Verse. Well, I mean, it seems good in theory. Just keep making tokens. Let's go beating. Okay, I actually might be able to catch the cats. In response to the Witch's Oven trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can Vanishing Verse the cat in response since they only have 1 untapped right now. Yep, actually, that's part of the cost, so I can't do that. Let's see if they bring it back end of turn here. Nope, they're a good sack player. Another Fable. Scavenger's Talent. Whenever you sack a permanent, target player mills 2 cards. I think we have to get rid of this, right? Not on my watch. Could be very good for exiling Igra. Alright, let's keep making tokens. Let's continue attacking with Gideon. Oh, I should have attacked with my Restless whatever too. I mean, this is such a ridiculous game. They have infinite food also. Definitely should be attacking with my Restless Fortress. Or my Hive. Actually should be attacking with my Hive. So in case they get another, Scavenger's Talent. We could possibly just lose to Fable too. Is that busted of a card? Third Fable. Yeah, I mean, we might just lose to the Fables. Liliana, Dreadhorde General. I probably want to emblem Gideon at some point. I don't know. I don't know if that makes a difference. Just keep churning out tokens. All right. So let's send in Gideon plus 3 tokens. Want to make sure I can protect my Planeswalkers. I get to draw a card. Kaya, ooh. I mean, given their setup, it doesn't really matter. So they can copy a cat, but I have 3 blockers, so we should be okay. Blood Tithe Harvester. They can copy that. Mayhem Devil. That's bad news. So we might lose to this, actually, now that they have the Mayhem Devil. Make a copy of Mayhem Devil? No, they just sacked. Yeah, copy Mayhem Devil. Alright, well they have to kill both my Gideons, which they can do. And because Fable's so busted, they get to keep all that stuff. Can we win from here? Fountain Ports. They only have 1 sack they can do right now. Kaya. Exile, oh. Non-land permanents. Wait, this reflection is not mana value 1 or less? What? It retains mana value 3. I can't beat the reflections and Mayhem Devil. They have another Fable coming too. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Attack with everything. They can just take this. I actually just lose when they attack back, so we'll scoop. Fable's a pretty good card, eh? Alright, Vanishing Verse, Erebos' Intervention. Lockdown, Hushbringer. Heliod's Intervention. Surge of Salvation. Containment Priest, there's a lot we want here. Like, almost my entire sideboard, really. Necromentia. So, we'll cut some stuff. Anything that, like, can't exile, pretty much. Long Goodbye can kill Mayhem Devils. Take out one Bankbuster since we're doing the lockdown thing. Cut a 6-mana Walker. What else? I think Gideon of the Trials. Gideon of the Trials is actually really good against Mayhem Devil. Alright, cut all the 6-mana Walkers. Cut Oath of Kaya. Shieldred's Edict is really bad. I'm gonna go one lockdown because I have so many other hate pieces for what they're doing. I don't know. Go without Fatal Push? Alright, Agonizing Remorse. Got a lot of exile here, so that's good. We'll keep. They have a Thoughtseize. That's too bad. They take Agonizing Remorse. Alright, I'm gonna reveal my draw for the turn. Elspeth. Alright. It's a walker we can use to start to build a clock. We have plenty of hate in our deck, we just need to find it. Scavenger's Talent, sure. There's a Harvester. Okay, Godless Shrine. Alright, let's just make some tokens. Bitter Triumph on Elspeth. She'll be back. Vanishing Verse. Can't hit the Blood Tithe Harvester, unfortunately. I think I'll start attacking them. I'm totally cool with trading. my Shambling Vent for their Blood Tithe. They don't want to. They have a Witch's Oven. And the shenanigans begin. Love a Heliod's intervention. Fountain ports. Alright, let's just keep attacking. There's the cat. Alright, fire up the vent. They just block with the cat and sack it. They're gonna do that anyway. So this doesn't really do anything. Eh. Guess there's no point. There's actually no point in attacking, so. Whoops. Whoopsie. Mayhem Devil. Pretty bad. Alright, let's exile the Harvester. Draw land. We don't have enough cards in our graveyard to bring Elspeth back. Come on, bring back your cat. Nope. Wait, what happened there? Okay. So they have 2 Cauldron Familiars now. Haywire Might. Sure. Level 3. So I need a temporary lockdown. Although they have a Haywire Might, so they can just exile it. Just gonna start milling me. Okay, a whole bunch of triggers. Well, this does let us get Elspeth back. There's definitely a possibility that is this a cast? Return it to your graveyard. Nope. It's not a cast. I don't think I can win from here. What would I have to draw? Temporary lockdown, but then they have a Haywire Might in their graveyard, which they can just get back. I might just be dead here. Let's see. I think I am dead here. Well, they don't have infinite sack ability. But I don't know what I would draw. Temporary lockdown is the only thing. Okay, everything is food, so that does do it, because now they have the oven. Alright, what a ridiculous match that was. Alright, round 4 will be on the play against Big Game Hunter. Not showing a companion, that's good news. And this hand looks perfectly reasonable, we'll keep. I mean, it's slow. We'll need some help from this Surveil here. Agonizing Remorse to the top, please. Thoughtseize. So this could just be like Rakdos Midrange. Let's find out. Thoughtseize, Thoughtseize. Yep, it is Rakdos Midrange. Well, there's the Thoughtseize. There's Blood Tithe Harvester. We will Fatal Push it. So they have Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Unknown. They're not even Thoughtseizing. Okay. Let's Soul Search you. Go for the throat. Okay, they got a handful of ridiculous cards. Well, we're taking Fable. That is certain. Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Torch the Tower, Go for the Throat is their hand. Okay? What do they discard? Torch the Tower. Iganjo? I'll hold on to Iganjo. Colligan's command to get back Blood Tithe and make me discard Iganjo. Okay. Agonizing Remorse. Take your Archfiend. Wow, why does this suck so bad on Moto? Moto, you're so much worse than Arena. Harvester. Soul Search. Just trading removal spells here. Or discard spells. Fatal Push, Go for the Throat, Go for the Throat. Well, if I take Fatal Push, I get a 1-1, so I guess that's what I'm taking. Their hand is double Go for the Throat. Okay, so they discarded to Go for the Throat. So our count is accurate. Can I draw like a Planeswalker or something? Bankbuster. I should have attacked if I'm not going to block, which I'm not. So I lost out on a point of damage. Well, I guess I'll block. That'll make me feel better about... Nah, that's fine. I'll take 3. Alright, let's draw a card. Give me something good, please. Another Bankbuster. Gideon of the Trials. That's pretty good. Plus on the Harvester. I think I want to draw a card as opposed to play the second Bankbuster. Oh, they scoot. Okay. So against Rakdos Midrange, definitely want Surge of Salvation. I want Vanishing Verse for Fable. I'm gonna cut one of my 6 mana walkers. Let's cut Liliana. Cut 1 Thoughtseize. Cut 1 Gideon. I mean, not good to mull against a Thoughtseize deck, so we'll keep. Have some good cards for now. See how long that lasts. Not even 1 turn. They take my Soul Search. Surge of Salvation, where were you a moment ago? I suppose I could have just shot Godless Shrine. Yep, they're a Kroxas deck. Okay, what do I discard here? Probably settle the Wreckage, because they're never going to attack into it. I'll discard a Settle the Wreckage. I could have Surged there, but I'd rather save it for like a Thoughtseize. Soul Search. Alright. I'm gonna Soul Search. Torch the Tower, Thoughtseize. We'll take Thoughtseize. There's a Bankbuster. Sorin the Mirthless. Play our Scavenger Grounds. Torch the Tower on my token is fine. They draw with Bankbuster. Another Bankbuster. Okay, can we beat the ban cards? Land? No. An untapped land would have been so good there. Draw. Duress. Well, I want to keep my cards, so we'll surge that. Now we don't know what's in their hand. Restless Fortress. We are going to need more lands. So I guess I'll top that. Draw with Bankbuster. Thoughtseize. Okay. Fatal Push their pilot. They're just gonna get another one, but yeah, I guess so. They can crew in response. They didn't crew. Blood Tithe Harvester. We know our draw is Restless Fortress. So the question is, do we Scavenger Ground now? So they would need to put another card into their graveyard for 1 mana in order to get Kroxas back. Which they very well could do. I can play a Sorin, make a token. If they have like a Fatal Push, they can just push it and get back Kroxas, and then that's game. Yeah, I don't think I can really risk that. I'm gonna have to do this eventually. I can't do it in response to them actually using Kroxas. So I guess I'll do this now. Go blank. Okay. Yeah, they're discard.deck. And we draw land. I mean, I guess I'll play it. Attack. We are ahead on life, but they have those bank busters they're going to be able to attack with. Graveyard Trespasser. Gideon. So Gideon can make a blocker. And I think we're pretty dead here. But what the heck? Make it 2/2. Bone Crusher Giant. And we're actually dead if they just attack us. Yep. Okay. So I think we want temporary lockdown. And I think we want our Thoughtseize. Or do we want Heliod's intervention instead of temporary lockdown? Probably temporary lockdown. Maybe both. So I'll lose a Bank Buster. I want all my Planeswalkers. All my Planeswalkers. Gotta lose something. Go down to just one Bank Buster since we're going with the lockdown plan. Both of Kaya is a little slow. Kaya's good because they're a Kroxas deck. Vanishing Verse doesn't kill the Blood Tithe Harvester or their Reckoner Bank Busters. So I think it does kill Fable. I think I actually want Heliod's intervention and not Vanishing Verse. I want Erebos' intervention too. So I think I am going to have to shave one 6-mana walker. I'll shave the Eternal Wanderer. Maybe I'll just go one lockdown since I've got the interventions to be on the play. Alright, our hand is good. See if it stays that way. They decided to keep. So let's play our Scryland. Land number 3 is useful. We'll keep that on top. No Thoughtseize, no Thoughtseize. It's a Thoughtseize. Duress. Well, can I draw another discard spell? I presume they're going to take Agonizing Remorse. No, I knew I wasn't going to draw one. So let's just play Takenuma. They shock. So they probably have Shieldred's Edict. But yeah, I'm just gonna play Kaya. If they want to Edict it or Triumph it, that's fine. Yep. Fable. Well, we definitely fatal pushed the Shaman. The question is, do we Heliod's Intervention the Fable? I guess we gotta, right? This card. is so ridiculous. I can't wait till it's banned. So opponent got a 2-for-1. It's a Bone Crusher Giant. So we'll go ahead and make him sack their giant, because we have nothing else to do. There's a Graveyard Trespasser. Castle Ardenvale. So they're going to flip their Trespasser. There's nothing I can do about that. That's a 2-3. Okay. So they're going to exile our whole graveyard, getting a whole bunch of life. There's a K command. Make us discard a land. So can we beat this Graveyard Trespasser? Long goodbye. Kill the Trespasser. You don't need to pay ward because it can't be countered. Just attack with our vents. There's an Archfiend, so we need an answer to that. Just a land. Alright, it's a fast clock. Bankbuster. Yeah, I mean, just play the banned cards and you'll do okay. The cards that were banned in Standard, that is. We draw Plains. We'll just play it out, because we got nothing else to do. Attack with our vent. Oh yeah, they can crew the Bankbuster. Sweet. Well, that was a mistake. Yeah, I think that's going to cost us the game. I don't know. Graveyard Trespasser. What can get us out of this? A huge Heliod's intervention. Or Erebos' intervention. Torch the Tower Exiles. Whenever a creature dies, its controller loses 2 life. So we're actually just dead here. Okay. Yeah, Rakdos. Severely hampered by the bannings, as you can see. Alright, we're on the play in our final match against Thace M. No companion. I think this is fine. We have to start on a tap land, but we do have interaction, so we'll keep. Oh, spirits. We draw Fatal Push. Alright, let's go for a Soul Search. They counter. Another Soul Search. Okay. Let's try that again. Spell Queller. Oath of Kaya. We'll try it. Do they have another counterspell? Wish I would have drawn an untapped land so I could have Thoughtseized first. Alright, kill the Spell Queller. The Wandering Emperor. Puts a counter on it. Fatal Push. Keep that on top, I guess. Hmm. Vanishing Verse, the Wandering Emperor. I needed to, I should have Fatal Pushed a, another Spell Queller. Alright, that's a pretty nutty draw. I should have Thoughtseized first. I guess I'll Fatal Push this guy. I could have waited to see who they put the counter on. But if they put it on a Spell Queller, then I can't Fatal Push it. So yeah, this is bad. They're kind of like the worst deck for us because they're aggro and control-y. So yeah, we're just dead. What do I want here? Hushbringer shuts down the spell quellers. Erebos' intervention. Probably lose some 6-mana planeswalkers. This is all pretty good. Maybe lose one Gideon. The Gideons aren't that great because they can't block the flyers. I'll keep this. Alright, we have to start on a tap land, unfortunately. They also start on a tap land. So let's Thoughtseize. Takasi is welcome. Get lost. Okay, their hand's pretty bad. Invasion of Gobakhan. That was a good draw. Take Soul Search. Okay. Let's play our castle. Hushbringer. Attack. Go for Soul Search. Get lost, my dude. So they just have lands. Pathway, a Darkar Wastes. They played a Pathway. So 2 lands plus 1 unknown. Well, did you top deck a counterspell? No. Wedding announcement. Alright. Let's draw a card and lose a life. Fatal push this token. Okay, they scoot. Alright, so they're running Wedding Announcement, huh? That makes me want Vanishing Verse. Maybe cut 1 Fatal Push. Alright, we'll keep. Our lands are slow. Castle Ardenvale is also going to be a tap land, but we'll take it. Oh no, I forgot. Shadowy Backstreet is like a fetch land. Double wedding announcement, no more lies, spell queller. I think I'll take one of the wedding announcements, because I do have a Vanishing Verse for the other one. Okay, I think I actually get down my Hushbringer here. That way the spell queller won't do anything. Doesn't mean to get a token. They drew another wedding announcement. Alright, let's Vanishing Verse one of these. The one that's about to flip. And then Agonizing Remorse. Get Lost, no more lies, spell queller. I'll take the Get Lost. They don't attack. Alright, let's play a Bank Buster. They just play a spell queller. They get to draw a card. Okay, let's Thoughtseize. Spell queller, no more lies, rattle chains. Take no more lies. Let's Lolth. So they have a spell queller and a rattle chains. Black, black, whatever, whatever, whatever. Make some spiders. Everything coming at Lolth. So I can kill a queller and Lolth dies. I think that's what's going to happen here. I could also throw my Hushbringer in front. Then Loth would actually survive, but it'd only be at 1 loyalty. Which means it would give me an additional card. I think this is fine. They waste their turn attacking Loth. Sorin, I can resolve. It doesn't really do much. It's just another Planeswalker that will die when they attack. Let's draw a card. Ganjo. Alright, I think I'll just use Iganjo. I'll just hold off. Alright. Let's Iganjo the Spell Queller. We take some damage. Another Bank Buster. Let's play a Sorin. Three steps ahead. Okay, so they're going to counter it. Okay. What is there? The last card is a Rattle Chains. Alright, let's draw a card. Soul Search, not very helpful here. Alright, I think I'm just going down to 3 here. Yeah. I could double block a token that unlocks spell quellers for them, so I can't do that. The Wandering Emperor. That's a good draw. So let's Soul Scar you. Soul Search you, rather. Here's the Rattle Chains. Last card is a land. Say go. Play the Wandering Emperor. Crew the Bankbuster. Exile the Rattle Chains. Block a token. Go to 1. They have a Mutavaults. We do have a Demolition Field. So their last hand is a land. We know that. The last card is land. We're dead to, like, any flying creature. Oh, I should have put a token on the Hushbringer. That was so dumb. Why did I do that? So before I forget, let's get rid of this Mutavaults. Soul Search. Yep, it's a land. Play another Bankbuster. Should have attacked with Hushbringer. I'm not gonna block with it. Why not attack? Punting, punting. Okay, let's draw a card. Castle Locthwain. Let's draw a card. Just lands. There's a Wanderer. Can I draw like a Fatal Push or something? Emiria's Call. Ooh. If we can resolve that, that'll be good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we're going for it. Resolves. Okay. I think we'll attack with our Bankbuster. Oh, everything's got indestructible right now. So yeah, we'll attack Bankbuster and Hushbringer, I guess, to gain a life. That means I can't crew. All right, they scoop it up. We got there against spirits. Wow, I thought we were dead. Hushbringer getting it done. So the final record with our Exiling Orzhov Superfriends deck was a 2-3. We lost to Aggro, Gruul. We lost to Rakdos Midrange, and we lost to like Jund Sack. So like it's always a question like, can you beat the aggro decks? The Gruul aggro decks and the Rakdos aggro decks, very, very strong. The question for this deck is 3 Fatal Push enough, coupled with all the other removal, to get you there? And I'm not sure. Yeah, I think you might just need to play 4 Fatal Push if you're playing black in Pioneer, because the red decks are that explosive. Yeah, I thought the deck was pretty good overall. like every control deck, a big question is like, can you draw the pieces that you need when you need to? And without blue, that's a bit more difficult. The Reckoner Bankbusters help, but as usual, like I feel like the deck could use some more card draw. Not sure what that would be really. Like the fourth Shadowy Backstreet could help. Another Reckoner Bankbuster. I don't know. I think one thing about the deck is like it's sort of dependent on like the luck of the draw. You're dependent on your Reckoner Bankbusters to fix your draws. You don't have something like Fable the Mirrorbreaker to help you sift through the cards, which is a problem. Another question is like, is it actually worth doing this? Like, I think Vanishing Verse is a good card, definitely. But the fact that we're playing all of these discard spells on 2 instead of on 1, it really kind of throws off our tempo. It pushes our curve up a whole turn. And the question is like, is it worth it to do that? To try to hate out, the meta with these exile effects at the cost of setting yourself back a turn, instead of just playing like sideboard, really hard sideboard hate, like 4 Leyline of the Void, 4 Rest in Peace, something like that. And I think probably not. I think Vanishing Verse is a very good card, and you could play 2 in your main board. It's good against a lot of decks. Gets rid of Fables. There's lots of really good targets, so I think that's fine. Not on my watch. Probably fine too. Maybe as a one of, because it is a bit of a pain to not have the flexibility to be able to kill a creature whenever you want. Exiling it for 2 mana at instant speed is very efficient. But like if you get Thoughtseize or something and someone sees this card in your hand, it's just a completely dead card. Unlike a Go for the Throat or something, which would it just would always have a target. Or even like an Anguished Unmaking I had in the first draft of this, which I don't think is worth playing. But conditional removal that requires something from your opponent, I don't think is worth playing in multiples like this. So I probably would only run 1, not on my watch. But I think the 2 mana exiling discard spells probably are what needs to go from this strategy. I think you could run some, but you probably just want to run the 4 Thoughtseize if you're playing black in Pioneer, and maybe have like, since we're running 8 mainboard discard spells, we're very discard focused. Maybe run a 4/4 split of Thoughtseize and these cards if you're going to run them at all, with the 4 Thoughtseize, just so that it doesn't throw off your curve as much. And yeah, I don't know. It's a fun deck. I don't know like how good it is. Like if you get to the long game, the 6 mana Planeswalkers are good. The deck is good against control. It's actually, I won a few games against blue-white control prior to doing this stream, but it suffers against the aggro and like the Rakdos Midrange decks. It doesn't have a card that's individually as powerful on curve as like Fable the Mirrorbreaker, Wedding Announcements. So, like, the individual card quality compared to, like, what's the best in Pioneer right now isn't quite as high, and it's a question of, like, whether you can even run 6 mana Planeswalkers viably in this format. So, what would I do to improve this deck? Well, I probably would... I'd go 4 Thoughtseize, probably would go down to a total of 6 total discard effects, maybe keep 2 of these exile effects, swap these 2 out for... maybe Fatal Push number 3 plus something else. I'm not sure what. Maybe Wedding Announcement is a great card, if we're going to go for a token strategy. Try to incorporate those. Or, just like good creatures, like, Graveyard Trespassers are good. Luminarch Aspirants. There's plenty of good creatures you could play in Orzhov. Kind of go away from the more like hard control-y strategy to more of a mid-range strategy, and then rather than trying to exile everything in your main board, just play a playset of like Leyline of the Voids or Rest in Peace. And I don't know, I'm a fan of Leyline of Sanctity. We got wrecked by all the discard effects in our Rakdos opponents' decks, and I hate it when that happens. There's actually, there's a good number of decks that do that. Like, every black deck is playing 4 Thoughtseize, and there's Waste Not decks that are just focused entirely on synergizing with discard effects. So I wouldn't mind, like, cutting 2 Surge plus another card here somewhere to run like 3 Lane of Sanctity. I prefer to run 4, but 3 would probably be okay. We never got a good High Noon matchup, but I am convinced this is a very good card to have in your sideboard in Pioneer, because there are a lot of decks that want to double spell, including Izzet Phoenix, which you didn't see tonight at all, strangely enough. I think it's still the most widely played deck in Pioneer, but we didn't see it at all. So I do like having the 3 High Noon. I don't think I would want to go 2, because it's also very good against Lotus Field, which is resurging in popularity. And that deck, it runs like 4 Boseiju plus like 4 Odawara. So like just running 1 or 2 in your sideboard isn't enough, really. I like 3 for a card like this where you really, really want to draw it in the matchup that it's good. So yeah, I think it's a fun deck. I think it's cool. I think it will get you some wins. It has some good matchups, particularly against the slower control-y decks. Maybe it can win against aggro too. Like, it has a lot of removal, so it could beat an aggro deck with the right draw. You might just have to mulligan aggressively for your removal, and you probably do want to add the 4th Fatal Push. So yeah, I would say 4th Fatal Push probably good. Go up to 4 Thoughtseize, cut down on the exiling discard effects for just regular old discard, or at least, don't have 6 of them in your main board like I do here. Not on my watch, maybe a 1 of, if that. Maybe you just want to cut those all and just lean on your Vanishing Verse. Replace those with other cards like Wedding Announcements, good creatures, more discards, something like that. But anyway, I think it's a fun deck. It has some good matchups in the format, and it can do some powerful things, and it can win some games from time to time. Has some good matchups. So anyway, that's all I have to say for about this deck for tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching me play Orzhov Exiling Superfriends Control. If you did and you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment down below. Hope to see you next week in next week's MTG vid. Have a good night.